Hi guys, it's Amy and you found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I always appreciate your time. I finished my Gingko leaf scarf. I always have to think, was this a shawl or a scarf? And so as you remember, if you saw my previous video, I wasn't sure whether I was going to end it on the yellow or continue a little bit. I kicked back and forth on doing any tassels as the pattern calls for, but the yarn that I had left is all green, and I didn't want to put green tassels on a green end, and I also didn't want to end on the yellow where this has a little bit of the brown. So if you know me, I normally pull out on a color changing cake. I normally pull out that first center section of whatever amount of yarn, say for example this brown, since I know that is not going to be a full representation of the color, I pull that out and would normally start with the yellow. But when I started making this scarf, I thought, oh, I'll just I'll just let it go as whatever it is. And then here at the end, I wished I'd have cut that out like normal, because then I would have ended on the yellows, and then I could easily put on green tassel on both sides, and then I would have been a little bit more cohesive to the pattern. But you know me, if you know me, I'd like to change it up all the time, and it doesn't always have to look like the pattern. And so here you've got just some color going ons as the cake offered up. But I really enjoyed this pattern. It was a fun little quickie. A treble stitch goes so quickly. And so if you haven't checked that out, I will post that in the description box. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you that I worked on this week is a duplicate pattern of one that I've already done. This was the Green Olive Shawl by Annie Crochet Design. I always get the words mixed up. Annie Crochet Design. So if you remember this one, this is my Uncle Joel's scarf. I was holding this yarn in my hand when I learned of his passing. So when I found the Green Olive Shawl and I was holding green olive yarn, I thought that was a perfect matchup. But it's just a very simple pattern of chains, and then you've got these clusters, a row of these clusters, that's 2 double crochets together. And so it works up very quickly. This is one skein of fingering weight yarn. This green one happened to be from the Hobby Lobby clearance sales. I haven't seen any yarn like this since the year of the clearance that I got these. Now their hanks of yarn are a little bit different in my opinion. I haven't seen any like solid colors like I purchased, so I'm really glad that I got in when I did. So this one you guys have seen before. I made this at the end of last year. And so what I wanted to do the pattern, what yarn I wanted to use for the pattern this time was this gorgeous, it's a goldenrod color, you don't need to see that goldenrod, but it was this Miss Babs. I got this on eBay, and remember I see this, it says yummy 2-ply, and I always thought it was a 2-weight yarn, but it's fingering. So there's all the stats on that, superwash merino. And so I thought this would be another good one, another 400 yards, use the same pattern. I ended up with just this tiny little bit left. So that's always like a big score for me when I just can get down to a little teeny tiny nub of yarn. But look at the, if you don't remember seeing this yarn when I purchased it, it's got such a great texture to it. I really love yarn that is, it's got that texture before you even start, before you've even done a single stitch, you've got that twisty texture to it. I just love it. So this is my goldenrod green olive, goldenrod green olive shawl. So I thought it was just absolutely gorgeous. I did not block the green one, nor will I be blocking this one because of the way you just pick it up and throw it around your neck. It's such a great, just a filler. Like, we're not looking for super, denseness here. It's light and airy. I love that you can wear it down open if you'd like. You can tie this in the back. You can leave it hanging. If you had 2 skeins, you could add some length to it or add some tassels to it. So I very much enjoyed making this one again. And it works up very quickly. I want to say that it was just in a weekend or so that I finished this. So yeah, if you guys could feel this, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's a feel that if you've had yarn like this, you totally get it. But there's just some gushiness to it, and much softer to the squish, you know, than I expected. When I work with fingering, I think it's just thin and like nothing, you know, you're not going to get any oomph, you know, it's not going to give it all, and this totally does. So I thought that was a total score for the yarn that when I purchased it, and now I found a great pattern to put it into. So this was such a win. I love it. Okay, and then in my normal Amy fashion, I wanted to do, this is a fingering weight pattern, so let's work it up in like a DK. And what I wanted to work with was some of the yarn that I just recently purchased on my own Amy's Little Yarn Crawl. Now, what's funny to me is that my intention when I purchased this yarn was to work through this hank or cake of fingering weight that I bought from Hobby Lobby, and I was trying to buy this yarn to match it, and I ended up with this, this yarn that I had not worked with before. It's 220 Superwash by Cascade. It's a fingering, 100% superwash merino wool. Here's some other stats if you're interested in that. And the color that I purchased on this one, is there a colorway? I don't know that oh, color 22. And so I worked it all the way to the nub. I bought 2 skeins of that, or 2 hanks of that, which is 219 yards. So I've gone through all of that, and I still have this much, and that was not my intention. So instead of just making like a front shawl, or, you know, my little scarfette or whatever it's called, I'm going to go ahead and make this one into a full size, since I still have so much of this to work into it. And this is like the first time I can ever remember like purchasing yarn, using it. I didn't have enough, and now I'm going to be running out today to, they're open a tiny little window of time today. So I'm going to run out to Yarn.com and buy some more. And hopefully they still have it. Next week is the yarn crawl for St. Louis, and so I better get in there and grab it before somebody else buys it up, because if I remember correctly, these were only like $8 or so. And I never worked with it before, so I really like that. Let me show you here. I also got this yellow color, can you see here, and this blue color here. Just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm very much looking forward to, you know, so as I started to make this that I'm about to show you, I made it all with one strand of this with this. Okay, I'll just show you. It's so funny when I'm trying to tell the story and I have to kind of wait and talk at the same time. So you can see here, as I held my variegated with one strand of this color 22, it's like a burgundy or a maroon. I got, you know, I got pretty far with it, and I thought that was just too much. I love the way that the colors work together, but it was just too much, too crazy, too variegated. See, like there's orange over here with it. And so I frogged it back and decided to do some areas where I was holding 2 strands of the maroon together. And I really liked how that was going. So then I flipped back to do some, that's one of the other things that I haven't really done before, is made a shawl, kind of stripey, you know, trying to decide where my colors should go together or whatnot. So this practice was also like one on my list to kind of put yarns together and do some variegated stripe with some solid stripe like that. So I got to this far, and I'm out of yarn. That's never really happened to me before. So like I say, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do another couple of rounds, I think, of the maroon, and then switch back to some more of the variegated. We'll see how big it starts to get, but so here's so there's how big it is so far. If I did stop right here, it's a little bit big. It's already, I think, a little bit big for this, because these don't end up very long, so you can't pull this very, you know, give yourself some space here at all. So it is a lot, you know, it does feel like a lot more. The superwash, the Cascade, is very, I'm not going to say thick. It does feel a little bit thicker than the Hobby Lobby yarn. So this section feels like it's a little bit thinner than when there's two of these held together. And I'm not going to let that bother me. That's something in the past that maybe would have really stuck in my craw. But the way that it's working out, I really like it so much. I don't know how big I'm going to end up making it. I guess we'll see. But my intention was really to use so much more of this. So I'm kind of feeling like, wah, wah. What do I do? I didn't want it that big. I don't know. Maybe I'll do another, finish this round obviously, and then do maybe another repeat. And then maybe, I don't know if you did that. That would still be really, really big. I don't know. I thought maybe I'll do some tassels of just this. Like I've been back and forth so much on what color combinations or what string, you know, holding both of them together. Was I going to do a section where I hold two of these together? You know, who knows? So still a work in progress. I'm enjoying how it's going. It's so soft. It's very, very soft. So yeah, if you haven't used any of this 220 superwash fingering before, I would highly suggest it. It was inexpensive, and you know, enjoyed it very much. And they had some nice colors. So I kind of look forward to working with, this is that brown and yellow, not brown, grays and blues and yellow with the metallic in it. And then I got that yellow and blue to work up. So I don't know how many more of these I might work on, you know. I get going, I love it, I'm gonna make some more, and then I'm kind of over it. So we'll see how quickly that might show itself. All right, guys. So thank you so much for sitting with me today. I really hope you enjoyed your time. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and please do come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for sitting with me. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I will do blah, 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 blah.